The Salesforce Developer role is one of the most in-demand and highest paid roles in the Salesforce ecosystem. Hi, I'm Ben McCarthy, founder of SalesforceBen.com, and our mission is to help you advance your Salesforce career. Subscribe to our YouTube channel below and check out our extensive resources on SalesforceBen.com. Developers use their coding skills to implement advanced automation logic using Apex code and create wonderful custom user interfaces using Lightning Web Components. Salesforce developers tend to work for end users and consultancies, as well as app exchange companies. In this video, I'm going to give you an insight into Salesforce developer salaries around the globe, the different factors that can increase or decrease these figures, as well as how you can earn more money. Even though the Salesforce platform is becoming more declarative, that is, using clicks and not code to customize it, the Salesforce developer role is massively in demand. The number of roles have grown 131% over the last 5 years and is due to grow another 113% in the next 5 years. Before revealing the massive salaries that Salesforce developers earn, it's important to dive in some of the factors that affect the average salary figure, as this will give you a much more accurate idea of what you can expect to be paid. The biggest factors that will affect your salary involve your seniority, certifications, skill set, and location. So let's take a look. First up, and absolutely no surprises here, your seniority and the amount of experience you hold as a Salesforce developer will carry a lot of weight. This is both going to be based on the number of years experience you hold and the type of projects you have worked on in the past. This also ties into which company you are working for. For example, consultancies will tend to pay a higher amount of money for developers, which is similar to developers working for large enterprises, compared to smaller companies using Salesforce that have a simpler setup. Next up, certifications. Professionals in the ecosystem love Salesforce certifications. They're a great way to prove your skill set and are a fantastic milestone for your own career. Certifications can be used to reinforce learning on the Salesforce platform and can be used as leverage if you are looking for more senior positions internally at your current company or if you're looking at new opportunities. In the Mason Frank salary survey, 67% of Salesforce professionals reported an average increase of 21% in their salary after achieving a certification. Your skill set is also going to play a huge role in determining your salary. Being a Salesforce developer isn't the easiest role to master. You'll need to be constantly learning new development techniques and tools, whilst also adhering to best practices when writing code. If you're a self-starter that can implement business requirements using best practices with minimal rework, you're going to be a much more reliable developer to the business you're working for. Skills such as integrating to other systems, using DevOps, and utilizing other advanced Salesforce features will also help you stand out from the crowd. Finally, we have location. And as you'll see from the figures presented shortly, location plays a huge part in determining your salary depending on the country you're located in. But it's also important to note that where you live in your country, for example, such as a major city versus a smaller town, will also play a big factor. Although these lines are now more blurred with the rise of remote working. All right, no messing around. Let's see how much Salesforce developers make. First up, let's look at the US, the largest market for Salesforce professionals around the globe. Entry-level Salesforce professionals, which means anyone who has up to 3 years of experience in this role, can earn an average salary of $116,000, whilst more experienced developers with over 3 years can earn an average of $155,000. Although the figure for entry level may appear high, bear in mind this is an average of anywhere from 0 to 3 years of experience. You can expect this figure to be 20 to 30% lower for brand new Salesforce developers. Jumping over the pond to the UK, entry-level Salesforce developers can expect a salary of £57,000, whilst more senior professionals can command around £83,000. You'll notice these figures are massively different from the US, which is a result of many economic factors, including cost of living, competition for talent, and general differences between our economies. Hopping over to mainland Europe, salaries are fairly comparable to one another, but again, differ between countries based on cost of living and other factors. For example, you can earn €29,000 as an entry-level developer in Italy, moving up to €40,000 once you become more senior. Spain has similar statistics, with €32,000 in an entry level and €49,000 as a senior. For full information on salaries around the globe for all countries we've gathered data on, check out our developer salary guide post in the description below. So now we reach possibly the most important part of the video, how to increase your salary as a Salesforce developer. The good news is, with the Salesforce platform being so feature-rich, there are a lot of new areas to start working on to improve your skill set and your salary. Let's take a look. First up, we've got Lightning Web Components. With the release of Salesforce Lightning in 2015, Salesforce moved away from Visualforce and over to a JavaScript-based framework which they called the Lightning Experience. Lightning Web Components are the future of custom interfaces built on Salesforce. Therefore, it's essential that every Salesforce developer becomes an expert in coding and building out these great experiences. Following on nicely from the previous section, Salesforce is putting a big focus on reusable components. This is seen from Lightning Web Components, which after they are built once by a developer, can be used across multiple places by a Salesforce admin. This is also no different from Flow, where developers can create reusable components and actions that can be utilized across the org. Next up, DevOps. Salesforce DevOps is one of the biggest trends that has hit the Salesforce ecosystem in recent memory and brings together development teams using processes and tools to simplify the development lifecycle. Getting to grips with DevOps tools and best practices is a surefire way to improve development speed and quality and your value to an organization. Next up, testing. Entry-level developers will be performing simple unit tests. They tend to write their code in monolithic blocks, which means that tests are a nightmare to write. As a result, tests may not be totally valid. If you want to reach a senior developer level, you need to consider testing strategies and designing code around being easy to test. This involves learning encapsulation, which means breaking down your code into smaller parts that are easier to test and maintain. Salesforce functions are one of the newest hot features on the Salesforce platform. They allow you to take your customizations to the next level by enabling complex business logic to be run, which was previously not possible. This can be compared to invoking AWS's Lambda function, or a similar function as a service. And finally, if you want to earn the big bucks, you need to become a go-to resource in your team and company. As you climb your career ladder, you need to be able to support more junior members of the team with best practices and resources to help them develop their own career. This massively boosts your own value within your team and company. There's no doubt that Salesforce developers are deserving of their compensation. They carry out a core function that allows organizations to extend Salesforce beyond declarative point-and-click configuration, build apps, and in turn, optimize business operations. This guide has brought context to what your Salesforce developer salary should or could be, with information to reinforce that figure to ensure you're armed when asking for a raise or applying for a new role.